Listen, man. Young Ron, piece of the guy, yo. I see what you're saying. I get it, right? But what y'all never argue about Jesus Christ is his work ethic, his character, how he walked and talked. You never talk about Nebuchadnezzar, written in hieroglyphics, which is Lord Christ. You never talk about the hit that was put out on him when he was shit. He had just got to the earth, the star appeared. You never talk about who he healed and how he healed. The vibrations, the frequency that he glided in, hovered in. You'll never talk about the helping of people. Render unto Kazar what is Kazar, and give that which is God's back to God. You never speak of none of these things about Christ actually being able to uphold the laws. The 42 negative, and being the confession of them, to become the being of light, or the God of light, which is Kut, the spirit of light that he embodied. You never talk about Mary Magdalene, his wife. You never talk about the Aquarian gospel of Jesus the Christ, how he went to India, Persia, and shit. Kemet, how he went to Egypt. Y'all don't talk about these things. You don't talk about when he says, whatever you haven't done to this person or this man or these children, you haven't done for me. You never talk about the journey of Christ to even become the Christ, to get the crown that rests on the head of God. You never talk about who that would be today. You never talk about none of the Christ that we have seen coming to the earth over and over and over again. It's because the story that is written, Christ passes away at 33 years old, and then you find out that there's a deep knowledge to that. You never talk about the meso Christ, the macro Christ, who you speaking of. And then you never talk about the micro Christ that is within you and in everything. Blueberry, spinach, shit. When you add that ionic charge to water and you get your H3O, you never talk about that Christ. You never talk about the people who display this particular behavior today. And you will ask, who is he? Where is he? Where is she? Nebuchadnezzar. The car is the heart and soul of you. The centerpiece. The S, os, Isis, or Set, is the remembrance of the heart and soul. This is why y'all say karma is a bitch. Because it's car, and then you want to call your mother Ma out her fucking name because of the shit that you done did. And it's just the 42 negative confessions of my eye to keep them within you. It's feminine. To express these things are masculine. Everybody doesn't have to know your goddamn business. But you have to forgive them and forgive yourself. And you to move on accordingly. Meditate. Pray. Meditation is within you. It's feminine. When you pray, it's masculine. The word goes forth. Hence the three wise women, not just the three wise men. These situations are interchangeable. There's no reason to argue things like whether the chicken came first or the egg, when we deal with God, when we find God, God teaches us that he and she, they themselves, known as the one, created all things at the same time and allowed them to go through their proper processes and their universal forms. The big three. You are a child of God, which means you are literally walking on the earth as the understanding of God. With all you're getting, you can get knowledge, get wisdom, but in all you're getting, get understanding. Be ye as little children. It's why that is written like that. The pure in heart shall see God. You have to be as a child again. 97 years old, you are still a child of the Most High God himself, your mama and your papa. Unless you just want to have just your papa, ain't nothing wrong with it, because of particular knowledge of Christ was taken from you. The comforter, the nurturing part of her. Coot. Is this not Het Heru? And if I was married, would this not be my wife, my sister, my mother, so forth and so on, and I would be Heru? Where I am, you shall be also. And wherever you are, I am there. You just have to offset, which is remember. Energy can't be created or destroyed, but we'll argue about Christ being a man, being a woman, and then that pulls out the ego in you, and it shows you what type of time you're on, instead of you actually ma'ating this thing, which is the ma. That's mama. The at. It's papa. It's the point. Period. It's et. At. Now. Amun, amen, and that's ament, amunet, amenet, who gave birth to amen. The pairs, the two, they are the one. We will argue everything about the Christ, but we are not allowing the earth not to groan and moan as a woman in birth pains. We are not arriving so she and the rest of the world does not have to wait for the sons and daughters of God to be made manifest within the earth. Why do you all continue to seek to stone me, destroy me, hack, clone, tap my phone, put these nanites in my fucking arm, follow me, put drones, helicopters in the sky? Is it not written that ye are gods? Is Ibrahim not a good example of what happens when you got the mind of Christ, though he may be Muslim? I don't want your 200 mosques, I need 200 schools. Is not Ibrahim displaying this particular type of Christ? He's on chemistry realignment, Sam Carver's time. KRST, Christ. Am I not he? This is why all of you that have your degrees, your bachelors, your masters, this is why it helps, but it doesn't matter if you are lacking the fear of God. Because when you find God, God teaches you about yourself. Isn't that how that goes? Why you never argue about, oh, you talk about heaven, but Christ taught you that heaven was within you. Is that not knowing thyself? Because when you know yourself, you do things like I did. I cursed money when I was young, so I ain't had none. I'm ready for it now. But I knew that every time one of y'all did something to me, I was going to hurt you. Without being seen, but God would have seen it. But I'm not like that anymore. I had to purify myself. Now I'm Mother Ma'at, walking the earth, Papa Ma'at, 42 years old. I have been strung up in front of the world, and I'm thankful. We are chemistry realignment. We are Sankofa's time. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I am Christ. you can also be this. Ashe.